to make robust technical systems actually requires a deep understanding of the social aspect of things.
I'd like to talk a bit about what you describe your research as being socio-technical research, which goes beyond just the sort of technological solutions. Can you just talk a bit about what that means?
Absolutely. I think a response I've often seen to my research when people see, oh, okay, there's skewed data sets and there are these disparities between groups, then the immediate solution is let's build more inclusive data sets. And if you stop there, that's very much thinking about it from a technical perspective. A social technical perspective would say, not only are we thinking about accuracy, but we're thinking about how these systems are being used. Because let's say we did have highly accurate facial recognition, which we don't have. Flawless facial recognition does not exist. Hypothetically, if we had that, we still have tools for state surveillance and state control. Accurate systems can be abused. So when we're talking about technologies like various AI systems that are being deployed, it's not just a question of performance metrics. Those are important, right? If the system doesn't work in the first place, yeah, probably shouldn't use it. But also we have to ask, are these the right systems to be building and how are they being used? So when I look at the context of face surveillance, I don't want the face to be the final frontier of privacy where you got to go out covered everywhere, you're going. And I think that the socio-technical lens requires us to ask more questions about society, more questions about power, who has it, who doesn't, who benefits from these systems, who suffer the burdens. And I realized that my computer science training didn't really equip me for those types of explorations. Sure, I could go scrape some websites and build a data set and run the scripts to test out various APIs and, do what I needed to do in R. But when it came to asking more of the societal level questions, that's when I found that the work of social scientists, and the work of anti-discrimination law and so many other spaces were necessary to do this work properly.
It's a very different skill set for sure. And was there anything that surprised you as you sort of moved from like the sort of pure engineering technology background to doing the social sciences work?
Yes, I think what was really important for me to understand was to make robust technical systems, which you might be calling pure engineering, actually requires a deep understanding of the social aspect of things. You talked about that part of the book where I'm exploring different classification systems and I'm learning about, various ethnic enumeration schemes from around the world. And I'm looking at the Australian Bureau of Statistics and all of the various ethnicities they outline. Then I'm learning about visible minorities in Canada. So by the time I'd gone through all of that and I'd seen how often the US Census had changed categories, there was no doubt in my mind how constructed these categories are and how much they reflect the historical, social, and cultural context of a time and a place. And I think it's really important to keep that in mind when we're building AI systems that are involving humans. Language itself is imbued with so much of our biases, right? The ways in which we describe certain things, policeman, right? What are we inferring with the use of that terminology, mankind versus humankind? So there are so many things that are embedded in the ways that we speak and what is viewed as valuable that we might think is normal, but was actually constructed. And so being aware of that then allows us to actually build better technical systems, because technical systems are never divorced from us.
Everyone turn on your facial recognition block. We're here to make a planet. Can't nobody stop. Everyone turn on your facial recognition block. We're here to make a planet. Can't nobody stop. shout. Everyone turn on your